Hey guys, Rorius here. Welcome back to Dream Daddy. Today we're not starting in Dad Book. We have a little side story piece that we arrived on last time. I think it's because we did the first second date, so this little extra bit of story comes up. Well, it's been a long day. I'm just about ready to pack it in. After a few bites of ice cream from the freezer, I turn off all the lights and walk down the hall to my room. I wonder if Amanda is still awake. That kid needs some sleep. As I pass her room, I can hear a faint sound, but can't quite make out what it is. I get a little closer. Is she crying? I knock gently on the door. Hey, Amanda? The crying immediately stops. Not right now! Her voice sounds strained. She sniffles. I need to make sure she's okay. I open the door. Aww. Sorry. I was all upset and I looked over and just saw my frickin' stupid hat. It's hard to take anyone seriously when they wear a hat like this, isn't it? In the dark, I can see Amanda's outline in the middle of her bed, knees hugged up against her body. Is everything okay? It's clearly not. Is everything okay? I don't want to talk about it. Did something happen? Leave her alone. I don't know, Did something happen? No, nothing happened, go away! Something must have happened, Do I persist, or will that just make things worse? You've got to know when to disengage. But when it comes to a video game, I don't act like I would in real life. If she said something along the lines of don't want to talk about it, I personally would say, alright, well just let me know if I'm here for you. Something must have happened. Amanda.
Aww.
Get out! Okay. I quickly leave her room and shut the door behind me. Once the door closes, I can hear crying again. Aww. I don't know if there's a positive way to go through that. Wow. What has her so upset? She seemed fine earlier. She's usually so open with me. Did I do something wrong? Is she mad at me? I guess if she wasn't before, she definitely is now. I can't even remember the last time she snapped at me like that. Oh, I have a hard time falling asleep, but when I finally do, I'm still thinking about Amanda. Yeah. They don't... See, kids? Be nice to your parents. They usually care very, very deeply about you. It is the time of year, you know. Tell your family you love them if you haven't told them in a while. After a long night of very little sleep, I roll out of bed and make myself a pot of coffee. Amanda should be up for school soon. Maybe she'll be willing to talk about whatever's bothering her. About 10 minutes before she's supposed to leave, Amanda comes out of her room and makes a beeline for the freezer. Morning, Amanda. Morning. She drops a frozen waffle into the toaster and slams the freezer door. She won't look at me. Yikes. So, anything big going on at school today? No. Okay. Do you need a ride to school? No. Want some coffee? Amanda pulls the toaster lever up and takes her still freezer-burned waffle out before it's finished cooking. I have to go. Amanda picks up her bag and storms out. Oh, okay. I haven't seen her act like this in a long time. It's usually short-lived, but it always hurts. If I go... One goddamn second. So I did more like what I would really do. I poke my nose in, I guess, to begin with. I'm like, are you alright? And then when they're like, nah, I'm fine, go away. I'm just like, okay, just leave. It happened the same way. The exact same outcome came about. Yeah, haven't seen her act like this in a long time. Yeah. Hopefully this blows over and things are back to normal soon. I sit back at the kitchen table and look at a picture of Amanda and I hanging on a wall. In it, I'm teaching her how to ride a bike. Her face is a mixture of excitement and pure, unadulterated fear. I remember how determined she was. Every time she would fall off and scrape her knees, she would get up and try it again. Finally, I had to stop her because she was bleeding everywhere. Then she started to cry because she didn't think she needed bandages and wanted to keep trying. As I put the bike away, she just stood in the middle of the street and screamed. Then I took her for ice cream, and it was like nothing even happened. After giving it a bit of thought, I decided that if I force her to talk about it, I'm only going to make things worse. But I have an idea. I start rummaging around for ingredients. I hear Amanda walk in the door. Instead of heading for the kitchen like she usually does, she makes a beeline for her room. God, my speaking's really weird at the moment. I'm doing a lot of shush. I can't say half the words. She's clearly trying to avoid me. Hey, Pumpkin. What? Can you come here for a second? There's a moment of silence. Yeah. I wanted to say sorry about last night. I'm just worried about you, kiddo. I get scared when I know something's wrong, and I get even more scared when I feel like I can't do anything about it. Dad, So just, whatever it is. And you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. But whatever it is, just know that you have a dad in your corner who wants you to be happy. Yeah, this is exactly what I would have said last night. I wouldn't have waited. I'm here for you, honey. You know I'm bad with words, so I was hoping I could speak a language we both understand. I pull a cake out of the refrigerator and place it on the table. Hopefully the frosting has set by now. Ta-da! Dad. Oh. Oh. It took me a really long time because I ran out of red frosting somewhere around sad. and I had to start over and this is beautiful. It's strawberry. Amanda gives me a big ol' hug. I grab some plates and forks and serve up some delicious cake. Aw. So, it's really stupid. What is it? The whole thing. I know I've been really weird lately, and there's just... I don't even know how to explain it. I feel like I might have to make you a chart. I'm listening. Do you want me to take notes? I guess I should start from the top. So you know how MR is going to that fancy art school in California, right? MR. Oh god. I don't know if any of these are correct. The one who puked and did Gotham Beyond. The best friend, the other one. No! No! I forgot. Dad, that was me! She says. The best friend, the other one. The best friend? Hey. You got it! Wow, proud of you! Oh. I only had to reverse time and change my answer. Anyways, ever since she got the acceptance letter, I've been feeling like she's drifting away, you know? And she's been spending a lot more time with Grace and Emma P. I just thought it was all in my head for a while, but then I found out from Rosie M that both the Emmas, Grace, and Noah all went to a party at Mackenzie F's. On the same night, they all told me they were busy studying for the Calc AB final. Yikes. So, another important piece of information is, God, this is embarrassing. I, have a crush on Noah, and, that's a thing. What? Whoa? No. What? Whoa, I had no idea. I definitely didn't know that, okay? Well, no, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be read. What? Whoa, I had no idea. I definitely didn't know that, okay? You're a bad liar. So are you. I learned from the worst. Oh. I don't know if I should be proud of this, but I'm actually an excellent liar. It's not a good thing, but I'm very good at it. Only if I really, really care about the thing. If I'm just like lying just to be cheeky sort of thing, then yeah, no, I'm terrible. Anyway, so the only person I told about the crush was MR, and she promised not to tell anyone. I didn't confront them about the party thing because I didn't want to start drama, so I just kept quiet and kept going about my business. Amanda sighs. Oh, okay. See, I thought there should be music, so I thought I'd just save it and load it. That fixed it. And then one day I invite everyone out to go get nachos at the mall, and after not texting me back for like 2 hours, even though none of them ever put their phones down for more than 60 seconds, they all say they're busy, like simultaneously. So I tell them, never mind, I'll just eat nachos at home, right? But we were out of chips and I really wanted nachos. Totally understandable. Aww. So I go to the mall anyway, I get to the food court, and who do I see there? But Grace, Emma P, Emma R, and Noah all hanging out together and eating nachos without me. What? It gets better. I'm standing by the escalators watching them and I realize that Noah has his arm around Emma R, which is kind of weird, right? But then they kiss. No. Yes! I know, so I storm over I can't read this in her voice. Yes, I know. So I stop over there and I'm like, hey. And Grace drops a nacho on her shirt because of course she does. And Emma R just like glares at me. Grace. Nothing is coming up. I don't know who that is. Grace is the... Shit. Gossipy one? I know! Huh. Grace is the one that nobody really likes. Or I guess that's me now. But anyway, nobody will say anything and I'm just like, you guys suck. Which I realize is not the most eloquent thing to say, but I was very angry and really embarrassed and I just wanted to get out of there. So I left, without nachos might I add, which only further contributed to the shitty day, and immediately drafted a super long text to the group chat asking why they've been so weird. And I wrote another one to MRR asking how long the Noah thing's been going on, and sorry, I know that's a lot. You still following? I honestly am not. Like, I'm reading it, it's just sound. It's not being processed. What did MRR say? Oh, okay, get a load of this. MRR says, you know what? Let me just read it to you. Oh, you know what? Let me just read it to you. Amanda pulls out her phone and reads, word for word, an arduously long string of text messages. Can you believe that? I cannot believe that. I care so much about Amanda's social life and mental well-being, but man, do I not understand what she's talking about. This is all beyond me, but I've tried my hardest to be supportive. They were dating in secret for like months. So I told her that she's being a really terrible friend, and she's like, well, if you think I'm so terrible, then just stop being my friend. And I was like, okay. And then she left me on read. And then... Wait, left me on read? What's that? Oh, like, she saw my message and didn't reply. And I know because there are read receipts. I don't know what read receipts are, but I'm just gonna nod and pretend I understand. I know what she's talking about. Don't belittle me. I kinda hate read receipts, because personally I often take a long time to respond to things. I like to formulate a response before I type it all out, you know. Oh god, this is in my face now. But as soon as you read it, it says like read. And so people would expect that you immediately come up with a response. And I'm like, I like to think about what I'm gonna say before I say it, you know? Gotcha. And then people just think I'm a dick. And I'm like, no. I just like to be cautious with what I say. Think about my words, you know? So, while all this is happening, I'm talking to Emma P about how mad I am because she's at least being kind of reasonable, and I'm venting to her about how pissed I am at everybody and stuff. And then out of nowhere, Noah texts me and is like, how could you say that about me? And I'm like, say what about you? And he tells me that Emma P sent screenshots of everything I told her to the group chat that I got kicked out of. Alright, I think you lost me at screenshots, but that definitely sounds bad. There's so much more, but honestly it's all just really stupid teenager stuff. The bottom line is that everybody dropped me, half my grade hates me, and now I have no friends. Oh, Amanda, I'm so sorry. I almost expected it from everyone else, but MRR has been there since Dad died, and I can't believe she would just stab me in the back like that. I'm not even that mad that she's dating Noah, I'm just upset that she lied to me about it for so long. Amanda stabs at the remnants of her cake. Okay, I take it back. I'm kinda mad she's dating Noah. Like, what did I do wrong? Why did everyone just suddenly decide I'm not cool anymore? Why wasn't I enough? I don't understand. And as mad as I am at everybody, like, I miss them, Dad. Amanda looks so dejected, I almost can't take it. What can I possibly say to help? There's nothing. That's the nature of these kind of... Cut my face. That's the nature of, like, these kinds of problems. Is that, as a parent, or as a teacher, or whatever, you can't do anything about this. It only makes it worse if you try to help. Anyways, that's it. That's the whole sordid tale. Thanks for listening. Tune in next week for more hot gossip. Wow. I know, it's pretty dumb. It's not dumb. No, it's a stupid thing to be upset over. Amanda, your feelings are real. Don't ever be mad at yourself for having feelings. I guess... Unless you've secretly been a robot who's been approximating human feelings this whole time. Oh, unless you're a robot? Dad, if I was a robot, I would have transformed into a monster truck long, long ago. A long, long time ago. But seriously, I know you probably don't want advice, but I feel like it's my duty as a dad to bestow upon you a few nuggets of fatherly wisdom. Not all friendships last forever. Real friends don't do that. High school sucks. I don't like any of those answers. This one feels like the one that's like... It doesn't help. It just kind of is like the neutral answer that doesn't actually help at all. Real friends don't do that. Feels like it might be detrimental. This one's like the sad one, the depressing one. There's no good answer here. The answer I want to give is that maybe there's something else that's happened. Maybe there's something else that went wrong. Maybe Emma's feeling jealous, or maybe Emma's feeling insecure about your interest in Noah, and she's somehow managed to convince all the other people to betray you as well, or, you know, to be on her side. Real friends don't do that. When you get older, you start realizing the sort of people you want to associate yourself with. Do you really want to surround yourself with people who would do something like that to their friend? It takes a lot of work to find and maintain meaningful relationships, or meaningful friendships. It took me a long time to figure that out myself, and I wish I had learned it sooner. If the other person isn't putting the effort in to show how much they care, it's not worth it. You're not beholden to being their friend. Ultimately, I think this says way more about their character than it does about yours. Because you're amazing. And if they can't see that, well, that's their problem. I'll keep that in mind. I look down at the table. Did we just eat that whole cake? Yes. We did just eat that whole cake. Well, good talk. Amanda gets up to go to her room. Before she closes the door, she turns around. Hey, Pops. Yeah? Thank you. You're always welcome. Love you, Amanda.
Me too, Dad.
Oh.
Welcome. You got dads.
Are we gonna get another side mission? No, we're not. Okay. I was gonna say, that was heavy, and it was a 20-minute conversation. Ooh. Okay, so we've gone on Craig's second date. Do we want... I know someone in particular has asked for Craig and Brian multiple times, so maybe we'll go with Brian for the second date this time. Also, yeah, as per usual, let me know who you want to see in the next episodes. If you have a particular dad in mind you want to see, let me know. For whatever reason it might be. It's up to you. It's none of my business, but let's go on Brian's second date. Oh, my beard is all askew. It's so hard to get my beard to not be so straggly. I need to have a shave. I was waiting till I got a haircut, but it's not gonna... When's my haircut gonna happen? I don't know. I can't wait. Oh, I have a message from Brian. Oh, Brian actually messages us. Huh. Hey, Daisy and I are going fishing tomorrow. Are you in or out? Oh, this is the fishing trip. Yeah, I remember now. Oh no, I've been dreading this day. I accidentally boasted about my abilities as a fisherman to Brian, and now he's challenging me to another dad-off. I've been doing my fishing research online, but I'm nowhere close to being an expert. Still though, I have to accept. I type back to Brian. Sounds great, man. Super excited to catch all those fish. And my lawn could use another good mowing. That'll show him. God damn it. Why is he like this? Why is Rory like this? Why is the Rorius of this world like this? Brian responds back, letting me know that tomorrow he'll pick us up at an hour I'd previously forgotten existed. Man, that's gonna be a rough start. Amanda comes into the room from the kitchen, eating a cheese stick by biting it off piece by piece like some kind of monster. I didn't raise you like that. What? It's called string cheese and not chompy cheese for a reason, Amanda. Did you just call me here to criticize my controversial string cheese eating technique or what? No, Amanda. We have to go fishing tomorrow. Well, you have to go fishing. I get to play with Brian's dog. How do I become a master of fishing overnight? You went fishing in the Girl Scouts, didn't you? Nope. My stint in the Scouts was brief and purely transactional. Thought I could get free cookies, but I didn't know that I had to, like, be outside and tie knots and stuff. But I have to beat Brian. Dad, let me tell you a story. Do you remember last summer how I applied for a job at that coffee shop across town? Give me a refresher. During the interview, they asked me if I knew how to work an espresso machine, and I really wanted the job, so I lied and said yes. On that first morning, there was a line out the door, and within half an hour I severely burned my hand and they told me to go home and never come back. I still have a scar from that. Of course I remember. What does that have to do with fishing? The burn is a metaphor, Dad. I don't get it. You can lead a horse to water. What do horses have to do with fish? And burns? Dad, please. I don't get your obsession with competing against Brian. You wouldn't understand. It's a dad thing. Please try explaining it to me. Okay, Brian's just... He just thinks that he's so much better than me, and he purposely reminds me of that whenever he can. It's like he has to one-up me. I have to beat him at his own game. Is that what you think is happening here? No, Amanda. Okay, good. I know that's what's happening. Alright, Pops, we should both be getting some sleep. See you in the morning. I'll see you in the morning. Night, Panda. I brush my teeth and throw on some pajamas. I climb into bed, set my alarm, and close my eyes. Okay. Sleep. That was a real yawn. When I play this game, I yawn a lot because I talk for long periods and don't breathe. I am wide awake. Oh dear. I hate that. I do that all the time. Every time it's like... Oh, sometimes if I'm not 100% sure about how the stream is going to go, the night before a stream, I won't be able to sleep. It's also because I sleep at an earlier time, so it's harder to fall asleep. I can't help but think about the last time I went fishing, hoping that there's something I can glean from it to give me an edge over Brian. I was about 9 years old. My dad woke me up one morning and told me to get dressed and meet him downstairs. It was still dark out. I had no idea what was going on. But before I knew it, we were both alone on a freezing cold lake. I had to sit there for hours while it got hot and muggy, and the air thick with bugs. I picked at mosquito bites while my dad sat in stony silence, fishing pole in one hand and a beer in the other. We didn't catch anything. On the long drive home, my father bought me a pack of cigarettes and didn't say a thing. That didn't help, and I think I have some repressed sadness about my father. I'll deal with that later. I'm sitting on a boat in the middle of a body of water. I can't see any land, but I know it's a lake. The water is... Wait, what? So we're having a nightmare? I can't see any land, but I know it's a lake. The water is placid and still. I'm holding a fishing pole. I don't understand why, but it feels like my life depends on catching a fish right now. I cast my lure into the water and wait. And wait. And wait. My whole being is filled with hopelessness as I watch the line disappear into the depths below. You used the wrong lure. I look up and see my father, just as he looked that one cold morning, disapproving. I'm panicking now. I pull the lure up and try to grab a different one, but all the lures in my tackle box are exactly the same. I look up to my father for guidance, but he's gone. I try casting again, but I can't hold my footing. My boat tips over and I fall into the water, sinking further and further. I see the multitudes of fish that had been lying just below the surface, all swimming around me as if to taunt me. One fish swims up to me. He has Brian's eyes. You've got to use the neutral buoyancy lure if you're trying to catch trout, buddy. Oh god. Oh, so that's a hint. Trout, neutral buoyancy lure. Okay. I'll try and remember that. I jolt awake to the sound of my alarm. I hated my alarm. Well, one of my alarms in particular. Ugh, I hate it. I just associate the sound with having to get up, you know? It's fishing day. That would explain the weird dream. I groggily slip on clothes and get ready. I spot Amanda's door half open and see her curled up in a mountain of blankets. Walking over to her bed, I give her a tiny kiss on the forehead. Fishing day, kiddo. You ready? No. Well, you gotta get up. I can't do this without you. So stop sleeping in your clothes. Amanda pulls her comforter over her head. Never. Amanda. I'll get up in a minute. Alright, Brian should be here in 20. So you better not just go back to sleep. Amanda sticks her hand through the blanket to wave me away. I leave her room and make myself some coffee, and another cup with lots of cream and sugar for Amanda, whenever she gets up. Amanda eventually wanders in and chugs her coffee while I do word jumbles. I hear the doorbell ring. That must be Brian. Still rubbing my... It's still like dark out. Still rubbing our eyes, we walk outside to see Brian. He's decked out in fishing gear. Daisy's falling asleep next to him. Yeah. Early bird gets the worm, buddy. You ready to fish? I was born ready. My eyes narrow in on Brian. It's a good day to die. Oh my god. Hop on in, guys. Let's get this fishing party started. I walk over to the driver's side door and open it. Brian's dog immediately hops into the driver's seat, wagging his tail furiously. Can I see your license, sir? Nice. Maxwell, let Rorius sit. Maxwell obediently hops into the back to cuddle with Daisy. Amanda settles in next to Maxwell and Daisy and immediately falls to sleep. You ready for an adventure? I'm ready for glory. It's a good day to die. I struggle to stay awake as we drive out to the outskirts of town. Country music plays quietly from the radio as I watch trees pass by. So, where exactly are we headed? Oh my god, my voice. So, where exactly are we headed? It's about an hour north of here. Little spot I've been going to since I was a kid. My dad used to take me there all the time. I don't think anybody else knows about it. I brought everything we need so that we can catch some trout. Have a nice little fire and enjoy nature. My fishing pole is in the shop, getting it tuned up. Do you maybe have an extra I could borrow? But of course! It's probably not as nice as it sounds, like yours is. It's probably not as nice as it sounds like yours is, though. Right. I'm digging a hole here. A relationship built on lies is no relationship at all. I think that's the part I despise most about this, is all the ridiculous lying. I steer out of the forest, lining the... Actually, I just suddenly was thinking, it's like, I'm usually self-deprecating, or like I lower people's expectations of me. I don't rise them up. But then there are lots of people who I know who are this kind of competitive, but about like negative stuff. So like, they talk about how they had it rough when they were a kid, or they talk about how they didn't have this or this or this, or they've never been able to do this or this, or they've had bad this, like they've had some part of their bodies bad for their whole life, or they're, you know, there's like a competitive, I've had it worse than you have. So I freaking hate that. I despise people that are like that. Ugh. Yeah, whereas in this case it's like I have this and this. And it's like, well, frick you, I don't have anything. I steer out at the forest lining the highway. The sun is just barely over the horizon, scattering dusky pink light through the trees. For a split second, I spot a deer grazing on the side of the road before it leaps back into the brush. After a nice quiet drive, Brian eventually tells me to pull off the highway and onto a dirt road. The car bumps along until we reach a clearing that opens up to a magnificent lake. Well, here we are. I step out of the car and help Brian unload our gear as Maxwell runs. He's got his name is like my surname. I step out of the car and help Brian unload our gear as Maxwell runs around us barking. The kids wake up and wander over to the shore, where Daisy tries to teach Amanda how to skip rocks. Brian and I carry the tackle boxes and cooler down to the edge of the lake, where he has a canoe waiting. Oh great, it's still in one piece. Hold on, help me out with Maxwell. I help Brian place a tiny dog-sized life vest onto Maxwell. Oh my god. Ruff, ruff. Alright, your turn. Brian hands me a lime green life vest. Okay, I have not got my list out. Okay, so the best outcome is love. Before I even thought about my list though, immediately I was like, this sounds like the answer to that first time we ever talked to Brian. Where it's like, maybe, you know, the frisbee thing where it's like, maybe next time I'll catch it with my teeth. Maybe if I fall in, you'll save me. If I fall in, I'm counting on you to rescue me. There we go. Suit yourself. Okay. Really? Not gonna put on a life vest? That's like just, that's water safety 101. Put on a life vest. Oh my god, I'm literally sweating. When I wear this hat, I don't have to put on makeup to protect from reflection and stuff like that. Instead, I just freaking sweat. Just the rest of my face is so sweaty. Brian turns to Amanda and Daisy, who are still skipping rocks. You kids want to fish?
Dad.
I'm good with just throwing rocks into the water. I mix up the vowel sounds for American, my American accents all the time. Amanda hurls a rock into the pond with gusto. Yeah, take that, water. Amanda, you're supposed to be skipping them.
Huh?
Is that what we're doing? She's just throwing them in the water. Daisy, don't you want to fish? I think catching fish is kind of inhumane. We're gonna go explore in the woods and look for bugs and stuff. Alright, be safe. Don't go too far. Brian puts the life vest around himself and we throw all of our equipment into the canoe. Maxwell happily jumps in and takes his place looking out over the front of the boat. I get into the canoe as Brian shoves off. Shoves off as in pushes the boat off. We paddle together to get ourselves in the middle of the lake. Oh god, it's so intimate. Most freshwater fish usually feed at dusk and dawn, which is why I had to get you up so early. Yeah, I know. That's pretty common fisherman knowledge after all. Fisherman knowledge that I'm knowledgeable about. Still a gambling man? You know it. You know it. Let's see who can catch more fish. You can catch more than one? 1 second, I'm gonna save it because I feel a mini game coming on. Sounds easy enough to me. What's on the line? Besides all the fish I'm gonna catch, obviously. Ooh. I was thinking something a little more high stakes than mowing the lawn. Custody of our children? More than that. Let's say, if I win, I get your weed whacker. That's more than the deed to our children? Or like the custody to our children? Deed. Like we own them. The Weed Whacker 2000? That's a limited edition. But if you win, you get my pole saw, the Reach, and Cut 3000. The cordless version? That's the one. Shit. The Reach and Cut 3000 is state of the art. Oh, it's one device. I keep reading it as 2 devices. Shit, the Reach and Cut 3000 is state of the art. My Weed Whacker is a prized possession, but there are those hard to reach branches at the back of the yard that have been begging for a pruning. You're on. We shake on it. I suddenly remember that I don't know how to fish. My foolish, fatherly pride will one day be my undoing. I watch as Brian ties a lure and does some stuff I can't quite follow with his fishing pole. He casts into the lake. Oh boy, now I have to do that. I stare down at the tackle box and at the pole in my hand. 1 second. Okay, I'm waiting for like a mini game to show up, and I hate having to get back to the mini game every time I fail. Insult the fish. Okay, this has a love option. Stretch before physical activity, or put some bait on the hook. Put some bait on the hook. Okay, yeah, that's the most logical one. I fish a worm from the styrofoam container Brian brought. It's slippery, but I think I can get it onto the hook if I just focus. Oh god, I'm bleeding. Oh god, the blood's everywhere. The worm is not on the hook. Need some help? No, I meant to do that. The blood attracts the fish. They can smell it up to a mile away, you know. I think that's sharks. No, it's definitely fish. Now what? Tie a knot or something? Yes. Yeah, I think every single one of these options has a love option, so I gotta look out for the love options. Like is not good enough. I take my pole and I try and tie an elaborate looking knot to impress Brian. The classic hunter's bend. I learned that one in my youth. Yep, this one isn't coming apart anytime soon. With this knot, I will cast my heavenly line upon the unsuspecting water and deliver unto us a bountiful harvest. I look over to Brian. He doesn't seem to be paying attention. Let's cast this sucker. I pull my rod back and launch the lure as hard as I can.
Whoa!
Oh my god. And the lure flies off the line and sails far, far away, landing in the lake with a loud sploosh. Sorry, I judged the wind speed wrong. This cold air drives the pressure down. Ha! Go ahead and take my pole. I know it's hard switching to a new pole that you're not used to. I'll fix up another lure. Brian hands me his pole with a smile and I just sit there, feeling like an idiot. I do feel like... I knew it was coming. I knew it. I freaking knew it. Brian's just so like... He's just so pleasant. He just gives me his pole. It's like, it's all good, buddy. It's only because we're being competitive that it makes things worse. Fishing around here is easy. They group up. All you gotta do is line up 3 of the same species and reel them in. Okay. So it's just one of those swapping games? I need to match 3 of the same species? I can't tell which fish is which.
Match that fish.
Oh god. Yeah, I can't freaking see.
Now you're
There we go. I'm so bad at these games. I've always been bad at these games. This one.
Catch of the day.
Okay, this one.
Now you're fishing.
Nope, this one.
Catch of the day.
Okay, that one's already done, yeah.
Now you're fishing.
That's down.
Nice man. Catch of the day. Catch
Swap
of the
those
day.
two. Oh, no. Damn it. That's a largemouth bass. A popular sports fish made infamous by... Oh, no. Shut up. No. Stop talking. I can't see any. I'm blind. I'm so blind. There we are.
Nice man.
Shit.
Catch of the day.
There we go.
Nice catch. Now you're fishing. Catch of the day.
Yay! Random chance.
Now you're fishing.
Save me, random chance. There we are.
Nice catch.
Bring that one down. This one across.
Nice catch.
This one down.
Now you're fishing.
Yeah.
Catch
There's actually so many combinations, but I get blinded by so much, by there being so much on the screen.
Nice man.
And there's a lot of them are so similar that I just like,
Catch of the day.
yeah, I just go completely blind.
Nice catch.
This one here.
Now you're fishing. Nice catch.
Yes. Okay. This one across that way.
Catch of the day.
This one up here. No! Okay, I got an S rank. That's okay. I'm fine with that. Good work! He started talking in the middle of it, but the timer kept counting down and I didn't realize. I was like, ah, shit. Wow, this is way tougher than I thought. I look over to Brian, who's smiling and obviously enjoying his time out here on the lake. I will crush him. Rorius, why? Suddenly, the fishing pole jumps in my hand. I reflexively tug upwards. I think I got something big. The tip of the pole dips down repeatedly and the line starts to run. Reel it in! I finally get the fish right up next to the boat. It's a long, beautiful rainbow trout. Brian hands me a net. It's all yours! I lean down and notice that my hands are shaking with excitement. This fish is bigger than all the ones that Brian caught. That pulsar is mine. And then I fall into the water, don't I? Yep. The entire canoe tips over with me. I find myself sinking into the lake. I should have taken the life vest. All of a sudden I'm embraced under the water and pulled into Brian's arms. Just like we discussed at the start of the date. Sorry, at the fishing excursion. I'm finally dragged upward, sputtering water. All of our gear floats on the surface. Maxwell doggy paddles around us in circles, having a great time. You all right? Does that count as one? Well, seeing as all of our fish are now swimming safely back in the lake, I guess so. Brian laughs. Let's get you to shore. Brian and I flip the canoe back over and fill it with our now soaking wet gear. Technically, no one got anything. So, we tied. We row back to shore with Maxwell in tow. Oh god. Once we get to the beach, Maxwell darts off into the woods. Brian takes off his shirt. Dots of lake water glisten in the sun across his strong back. God damn it. Man, all that general contracting must have built that guy like an ox. I hope he doesn't notice me staring.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a fire going so we can dry off. Wanna hand me yours? Yes, okay. I reluctantly take off my own shirt and toss it to Brian. I suddenly wish I had done more sit-ups in my life. Or any sit-ups at all, really. Another thing you've bested me in, stupid sexy Brian. You might as well fry that shirt up. Seems like it's the only lunch we'll have. The day's young. We can fish from the shore. Once Brian gets the fire going, I sit to try and dry off my pants. Brian sets a couple lures out by the water's edge. We're probably gonna have to put the kibosh on the competition for now. Until another day. My stomach growls.
Okay.
You hungry? Oh, I'm fine. Brian reaches into his cargo shorts and pulls out a few granola bars.
Ah.
I have a small child. I'm flush with snacks. Brian joins me by the fire and I accept the cargo short granola. Sounds like a euphemism. And now we're back to waiting. Where did the girls get off to? Shouldn't they be back by now? I wouldn't worry about it too much. They're a couple of smart kids. That's what I'm worried about. They're too smart. They probably established a small rural government by this point and installed themselves as leaders. I take a look around at the sun, cresting the tree line, casting the entire lake in a warm golden glow. The forest seems to be coming alive now. Birds chirp in the distance. Wow, nature is beautiful. Yeah, so I'm guessing it's like early morning. If the sun's only just sort of coming out. A mosquito bites me. I slap my neck and curse. Nature sucks. This is hot and cold. Here you go, bud. Brian hands me a bottle of bug spray. I begrudgingly take it and douse myself. Ugh, I've always hated how this stuff smells. Really? I always kind of liked it. Reminds me of being outside. Maybe you and I have different sentiments on the outdoors. Maxwell comes bounding up to me, a huge stick in his mouth. He drops it at my feet and looks at me expectantly. Expectantly is the word. Throw the stick towards the woods. Fake out throw. Break the stick in half to assert your dominance. Why would I do that? Throw the stick towards the woods? Yay! I hurl the stick as hard as I can towards the tree line. Maxwell bolts after it, running as fast as his stubby little legs can carry him. Aww. Which consequently is not very fast. It is very cute though. Nice throw, Rorius. I turn away so he can't see me blush. Why would that make you blush? Maxwell brings the stick back to me, clearly proud of himself. Good boy, Maxwell. You're a very good and speedy boy. You're the world champ of fetch. It's time for the pets. What's the plan? Okay. Butt pats never fail. Scratch behind his ear. Rub that belly. Butt pats never fail. Okay. I give Maxwell a few good pats on his backside. While I'm playing with Maxwell, fish begin routinely pulling on Brian's lines. I watch Brian effortlessly fillet the fish, squeezing a bit of lemon on them and frying them up in a cast iron pan. Before we know it, we have a feast fit for a couple of shirtless dudes. I forgot that I'm also shirtless. It's weird. I never take my shirt off. Never. I'll take my pants off before I take my shirt off. Amanda and Daisy emerge from the woods, looking totally unscathed. Whoa, Dad Bod Patrol. I'm gonna have to issue both a citation and demand you both put your shirts on. There are children present. Brian tosses me a now dry shirt. I pull it over my head, thankful that I will no longer be distracted by Brian and his pics. Where have you guys been? Studying entomology. Entomology? What?
Huh.
We were playing with bugs. I expected you guys to be more covered in, like, mud and stuff. Daisy looks offended. What do you take me for, a child? Amanda puts her hand on Daisy's shoulder.
Oh.
Right. Oh, that's weird. We take a seat around the fire and Brian serves us all generous piles of fish on paper plates. It's absolutely delicious. Why does he have to be so good at everything? Fish taste okay? Daisy and Amanda both nod furiously, mouths full of fish. It's incredible. I've never had fish this good. Yeah, it's great. Old Harding family recipe. Why are your pants wet? Well, Amanda, we were out there on the lake, and then, and then I accidentally tipped over the boat. Don't worry, all the gear floated to the surface, so we didn't lose anything, right, Rorius? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I can't believe he just covered for me. Aw. Gosh, he even out-humbles me. He's trying to beat me at everything, including my world-famous sense of humility. World-famous sense of humility? What an oxymoron. We finish our fish and end up playing catch with Maxwell for a little while, before we decide to head out. After cleaning up the camp, we pack up our station wagon and let Maxwell into the back seat. The poor pup falls asleep in a cuddle puddle with Amanda and Daisy. They've had a long day. It's been an ordeal today, bud. Let me drive you guys home. I want to prove that I'm the most awake dad on the block, but yeah, I'm beat. Fine. As we drive away, I take one last look at the lake disappearing behind us and smile. I rest my head against the window and the low rumble of the dirt road beneath us lulls me into a peaceful sleep. Aw. Man, this is real 80s style. Hey, sleepyhead! I opened my eyes and realized that I had dozed off in the car. I self-consciously wipe a bit of drool off my chin. Oh, hey, I was resting my eyes. Just in case we suddenly have to jump into any sort of conflict, so I'm super awake for it. And ready to fight. With my strong arms. It's all good, you earned some rest, buddy. Thanks for coming out with us today. I had a lot of fun with you. Thanks for inviting us. I also had fun, actually. Glad to hear it. Take it easy, yeah? You too. Take it the easiest. Brian chuckles to himself as he unloads the car. Oh, were we already home, were we? I see. Hence why we were stopping. Amanda and I get inside and immediately collapse onto the couch. Long day. Yep. I was so close to that pole saw. Pole saw? Yeah, Brian and I were competing to see who could catch the most fish and... Ugh! Stop! Why do you care so much? Manda Panda, just look at the guy. He's so obviously got my number and he's rubbing my face in it. He's so obvious. I know it's an expression, but it didn't read correctly in my brain for a second there.
Dad.
Dad, I love you. But you're kind of dumb sometimes. Dumb? Or clearly the superior dad. You know what? I don't have the energy required to properly unpack your weird fixation on asserting your masculinity. I'm going to bed. Night. It's just like... Amanda slides off the couch and faces... Oh, that's why. Amanda slides off the couch and face down onto the floor. I am a tired slug. Amanda, that floor is disgusting. I don't care. Well, night, honey. Night, Pops. Oh, dear. Alrighty, date complete. Taped sports. Mandals. Competition.
You sure know how to make a dad blush.
Wow. It's weird hearing actually Barry's voice there. Oh dear. Because I just have my own idea of what his voice should sound like. Hawaiian shirt, boat, fish. Yeah. S rank. Aw, yeah. Only 384 dad points, but 846,615 daddy points. Whatever the case, let's go. I'm assuming that this is going to be one of those side story things like last time. So I'm going to save it and we're going to end it here. I usually prefer to end it on the dad book, but I see now that all the, I think what's happened with the director's cut, or the director's cut, is that there weren't originally side story things to begin with in this game. So when you're doing dates, the first date for all the dads, there was no side story stuff. But as of the second dates with all the dads, in the original game, you probably had these side stories play out in between the dates, you know? And they basically just wanted to flesh the game out a little bit extra, you know, a little bit more fleshing out by adding the side stories between the first dates as well, so you get all those, like, messages pop up the side. I have that feeling like we're not going to see any more of those. All of the side story things are going to happen between the dates. So, yeah, we'll leave this for next time. I would do this now so that we're back to dad book and we can go from dad book, then do the side thing, back to dad book, and then end an episode. But I'm out of time. I'm all out of time. Like, I'm well over time for today. So, we'll have to leave that there. If you like what you saw, hit like. If you want to see more from me, then subscribe. But yeah, I don't really know what to expect from these side stories, because I don't remember seeing them. I have the feeling that when I watched people play this game, they were trying to get all the endings, and so they were speeding past a lot of the game. They were speeding past a lot of the side stuff. They were only really focusing on the main parts of the you know, the decisions and stuff like that, and the main dates. But yeah, whatever the case. Enough rambling. I hope you're enjoying this. I hope you're enjoying the series. I hope you're enjoying me wearing a hat and sweating profusely. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and as always,